Hello guys, welcome back to a new video, and in this video I'm going to be covering how to find a percent of a number. We're going to go to that by multiplying the number by the fraction form or decimal form. So, and as you can see, there are 4 examples on your screen that we're going to go through together in order to get this down. So let's jump right into number 1, where we have 40% of 30. So I'm going to do the first two with fractional form and the last two with the decimal form, so you guys can understand both of the methods all together. So for the first one, we have 40% of 30. So first thing we want to do is make our 40% into a fraction. So we can just do this by putting 100 below it, like this, so 40 hundredths. So now we got this, we are gonna multiply this by 30. So we're gonna do it basically like this, 30 100th. And as you guys know, when multiplying a fraction, we are only multiplying our numerators. So we're gonna do 40 times 30. 40 times 30 will equal 1200 hundredths. And now we just have to simplify this fraction or take the whole numbers out. So we're gonna see how many times does 100 fit into 1200. Well, exactly 12 times. So 12 will be our final answer of the first example. So this was the first example on how to do it with fractional form. Now for the second example, we're gonna do it also with the fractional form, so you guys can understand it. So now we have 75% of 60. So again, the first thing we want to do is make it into a fraction like this. Oh, my bad guys. 75 hundredths. And then we're gonna multiply it by 60. And also, if you know a simpler version of this fraction, for example, you can also write it down like that to get the answer a lot easier. So I know that this is 3/4. So basically this simpler version of this will be 3/4, like this. So now we have this, and now we can multiply this by 60 hundredths. And now, as you can see, this will be way easier. Because if we would have done 75 times 60, we would get a very, very big number. But now we have 3 times 60, and we're going to get 180. And our denominator is going to stay 4, so now we have this. And now we're going to see how many times does 4 fit into 180. And that is exactly 45. And so this will be our final answer. So now we have done the two examples with fractional form. Now we're going to go over to decimal, to decimal form. So to do this, I like to do this method using decimals because I find it a lot more easy than making it into a fraction. So I'm going to show you how to do this. So a decimal form of a percent is very easy to get. You just put the decimal left to it like this. So a decimal percent of 32 will be 0.32. So now all we have left to do is we multiply this by 50. So 0.32 multiplied by 50 will equal exactly 16. Like this. And now you will get to your final answer. So I like to do this form if I have a calculator. But most of the times, if I don't have a calculator, I like to use the form with the fractionals, because that way you can get it a bit more easy without using a calculator, instead of doing, for example, 0.32 times 50. But now let's go over to our last example. For our last example, we have 18% of 45. So first thing we're going to do is turn it into a decimal. So it's going to be 0.18. And now all we have left to do is we're going to multiply this by 45. So 0.18 times 45. This will equal 8.1 as our final example. And if you guys have to end up on a whole round number, we can also round this to 8, like this. So 8.1 or 8 will be your final example. So I hope you guys understand both methods now on how to get the percent of a number. So this was basically the video. I hope you guys understood both of the methods using the fractionals and the decimal. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy the video, make sure to leave a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, leave a question in the comments. And this was Mr. Mathz, and I will see you guys in the next video.